Hey, good morning everybody, AJ here, and today we are heading to Spring Creek Baptist Church to go ahead and do some training. Then we got a meeting. Let's see if I can get back into the church to see if I can do some test work on the HD Base T extender, do some prep work for the virtual choir, and we got a bunch of other stuff, and then pick up my baby girl from school, and then we'll go from there. So let's go.
Wait.
No, you're fine.
One is the live stream monitor. The second one, the ATEM, is the monitor. One is with the RX graphics card or US adapter. And then the fourth one would be with the mini monitor.
Yes. So you would have the mini monitor that we'll place in here that will feed the two monitors in here. The USB adapter will go to this one right there. Another USB, well actually USB or the RX, because that's what y'all deciding on, will go and feed the monitors out here, and then you would have another monitor just for your multi-view in here, and then you can get rid of the iMac. And then the other PTZ, if you get it, it could just be mounted right there, and then have it connected there.
Okay, and next step's best option would be maybe for me to write this whole kind of, proposal up.
Alright, so we're back. Here I got parts for this computer that I'm finishing up. Got the CPU in. The motherboard is supposed to be delivered sometime today, and the ATEM Mini is supposed to be delivered tomorrow. And hopefully the memory will be delivered today. I have access to 8 gigabytes, but I'm gonna put 16 in. They sent that regular mail, so hopefully that will be here today or tomorrow. And then I'm gonna give this to my brother-in-law because he's the one that got the contact for it. So he's gonna go back to my hometown and install that for them and be back. What else? Ended up pulling the trigger and saw a PTZ camera that was on sale that a lot of y'all have asked me about. So I went ahead and bought that, and we're gonna be reviewing that when it comes in. It's supposed to actually be delivered tomorrow. Oh no, Saturday. So since I'm not going to be at my church this Sunday, if it comes in time, I may be able to install it. I saw the sexton down at the convenience store, so maybe he's going to be back at the church. I can get down there and pull down the G20 and put the mount and everything like that. Because the good thing is it's going to make it a lot simpler, because it's PoE control. I already have the extra adapter for the RS-232 to control it, connected to our remote control. Have 2 SDI cables, so literally, yeah, I have 3 cables that'll go, 3 Ethernets. Yeah, Ethernet for the network, another one for control. Network will also have power, and an SDI cable. That's all I really need. So if I pull down the other mount, similar to what we did in our back DIY PTZ, and put up the extra mount when it comes in, I technically only need to plug it in and then secure it with a screw on the top, and everybody should be ready for it Sunday. I mean, we're not really even using the front PTZ in service the last couple of days. We used it when we had a funeral or something like that, but we don't have anything like that. So for the 3 days it might be down, I don't think it'll be an issue. So if that happens, I'll take you along with me. We just got some food. We're gonna eat. I got a meeting at 3, and let's see what else we can get into. All right, so even though I haven't really posted a build video in a minute, we are still very much building PCs for ministries that have reached out when the parts are available. Here is the most recent system that I actually rebuilt for my church that hasn't been used, but we are gutting the processor, putting a faster one in there, more memory, all this other stuff like that, NVMe drive, so that we can make it ready for a ministry that's going to be using the ATEM Mini. I actually ordered one, said it was delivered, but it never was delivered because I had some other parts coming in at the same time. But thankfully, Amazon honored it, and it should be here tomorrow or today, hopefully. But yeah, the good thing is, like, I literally just built this about a month ago, and it's been sitting in the chapel, only being used when I go down there to do some type of videos. So what we're gonna do is we took out the hard drives. I just need to remember to order the exact same motherboard again. And when I replace this back at the church, it won't know any different, because the parts are exactly the same. And that's about it. And honestly, I probably need to put a faster system in here. This is actually the leftover 200 GE that I originally put in my mom's computer, that I moved her to a Ryzen 3200G, which I just saw that AMD announced the new versions of their APUs, but they're not available to DIYers yet. They're only available to companies, so we should be seeing that soon. But we're gonna go ahead and retrofit this. I got 8 gigs of memory in this system right now. 16 is supposed to be delivered today or someday, today or tomorrow, hopefully. And then what we're gonna do is place that in there. And if the ATEM Mini does not come in on time, I'm just going to use the ATEM Mini that I have for Formation Sports that we don't need right now, because my brother-in-law has one as well too. We can use his if we have any other games, but I will give my ATEM Mini to them so that their ministry will be straight for this week, and then the new one will just replace what I'm giving them. So let me put this new processor in and start a Windows install, and then this system will be done. All I got to do is pull out the 8 gigs of memory, put the 16 whenever it comes in. So, and I got an hour and a half before my next meeting, so yay. At my church here. I'm on a tight time schedule. I picked my daughter up a little bit, but like I said, we went ahead and got the other camera. I'll have some light here in a second. So I'm gonna come here, take down the other Canon, and if I got enough time, put it up here. I'm not gonna program nothing. I'm just gonna hang it, and then we'll come back, and hopefully maybe the camera will be here early. I don't know, maybe I can get down here Saturday and install it. If not, we have next week to do it. So let me get my ladder and let's hurry up and get up out of here. All right, it has been a long day. I went back to the church, dodged me falling from a pretty high up in the air. I took down the other Canon G20 in the front, but my ladder was not tall enough to pull the mount down. It wasn't secure enough. I didn't get anybody. There was no one there that was able to help hold the ladder. So I'm gonna have to go back and do that when I have some more support personnel to help. I finished doing system for a church in my hometown. So So just finished getting that to my brother-in-law for tomorrow. What else? I need to redesign a system for a church here in a second, so I'll probably cut over to this. So this will be a long vlog. It's 11:17. I got Horizon Zero Dawn that was on sale. This is how I normally play video games. I start it up and then never touch it. We got ourselves a second pod mic so that my daughter has a better mic than the shotgun if she decides to do another live stream with me. What else? Yeah, just getting ready for the live stream tomorrow. We have our virtual choir Saturday. We have an on-site Saturday. We're going to be playing at New Hope on Sunday, and then we're going to be playing for anniversary service at Pastor Alicia's at Greater Works in the afternoon. So we're going to be going an hour and a half drive from here, past here, and then another maybe like 30 minutes down to Petersburg. So very long day. We have 4 on-sites lined up for next week already. I got another one. I'm pretty much building another live streaming system like I just built. Have the case right there, motherboard, and all the other pieces I ordered. They're supposed to be here Tuesday. That's going to be dependent on another church that we talked to in Norfolk, and it's been not a year, maybe 6 months, and now they're like they want to move forward. So I'm gonna take this with me down there. Also, we ended up got our hands on an SMT AV PTZ because y'all have been asking so much about it. So we went ahead and grabbed one of those, and I'm gonna take that with me for the demo. Ultimately, this is probably gonna replace the PTZ optics that I had at my church, and I'm gonna keep the PTZ optics for me in my setup. And I'm gonna put it ultimately when I finish. I'll put that at my church and then put the PTZ optics back here in my apartment. But we're gonna take that down there so I can review it because so many of y'all have asked, as well as have something there to demo with a system down at the church down in Norfolk. So washing dishes, so that's the noise in the background. Let me get my stuff set up. Let me go through this design real quick. I need to work on my book that I've been procrastinating. When I'm not saying this, I'm not procrastinating. It's just I've just had so much other stuff going on. I need to work on that. Probably see if I can knock out 2 chapters tonight or something. My little one is in there asleep. Get her to school in the morning. Go down to my brother-in-law's, drop off this stuff, come back, get ready for the live stream, get ready for Saturday, and we'll go from there. All right, folks, so we are here. It's almost midnight, but this is when I finally got some time to slow down. We're going to be designing a system that a church reached out to me that they have, but they're having some performance issues and some latency and there's some lag in between their stream as well as the output. So let's go ahead and get the design up here so y'all can see what we are working with. And then we will go from there to see what we can do to help them out. All right, so here's the design and let's walk through it. So they have a USG Unify, Ubiquity Unify router, Cat6 cable going to their cloud key. I don't know why they have another router in here, but oh well. Looks like they're going to another router, unless they mean that's a switch. I think that's a switch. But then it splits off into an access point. Then it goes to another access point in the sanctuary. And it says it's connected to the projector. Not sure what that is, but so anyway, let's jump over here to our ATEM here. They have an ATEM Mini Pro, but it looks like they're using the computer to live stream. And the 2 cameras are plugged into the ATEM. The HDMI out is going to a HD base T converter, and then it's going HDMI out from that, maybe a pass-through similar to the Ori, and then it's going to an HDMI to coax. I believe that's a Thor that they're using, similar to what I have at my church. And then the coax is going to the TV in the entrance, and then to a splitter, and then to TVs in the sanctuary. Okay, that's going to be the main issue, and I talked about that when I installed that. Why I didn't use that in my church. I used it for TVs that are not in the sanctuary, because there's processing time for each device that's going here. So you have the ATEM, then it's going to process here, then it's going to process here, then it's going to process here again, and then it's going to go. So there is going to be some lag there. And then the projector, I don't know why the projector is connected to the access point. I'm not 100% sure about that, but let's just go through and just design the whole thing, how I would do this. Okay, so let me get my draw IO up. I'm gonna bring this onto another screen so I can reference this. All right, so let's do a new design here, and let's say this is Brookside. All right, so what we're going to do is probably go with one of our standard system builds. That would be like a Ryzen 5 1600. They do have a new Ryzen APU that are out, but it's not for folks like me yet, not DIYers yet. All right, and then we're going to use our rounded rectangle for our ATEM Mini Pro. Let's do that here. And we're going to connect that. That's going to be USB. And let's stick in the cable a little bit there. And no need for that. So that's USB. All right, and we're going to get some cameras. I think when I clicked, my mouse went over and started Horizon Zero Dawn. That was not my intention. So let's get 2 cameras here. I don't know the position. Don't know if it's HDMI to SDI, all that I do not know. But honestly, it does not matter. We don't really need to touch that because they didn't say that that was an issue in any way, shape, or form. All right. So we got a projector here. Do they have a projector in draw.io? Yes, they do. All right, so we have our projector here. And what else? So they had Ethernet is the blue cable here in their original design. Now, I really don't know what their HD base T is going to. I'm just going to ignore that because I don't understand that piece of their design and their setup. So I'm just going to ignore that for right now. So I'm assuming the way this is designed, everything that goes into the ATEM is going to be outputted to be seen on the screens and everywhere. So what I would recommend for that is an SDI distribution. And that's a 1x8, similar to what I've installed, but I have at church as well too. Now, I don't know the actual projector that they have. Actually, they have a document here. Oh, that's just the exact same picture. All right, that does not help. So like I said, I'm just going to pretend like I'm just doing this myself without really knowing. Internet is not going to be an issue. Trying to get some better TVs. Oh well, I use these. So they have 2 in the front. So we'll have 1. Let's copy that. Oops. 2. Right there. Why does it do that? All right. And then it has 1 more, which is at the entrance. So I'll just place it over here. So I'll say entrance, left, and right. Now, because the TVs are showing the exact same thing, we can cheat a little bit with this. And again, I think that's just, I really don't understand what the projector is showing, but they also have TVs. That's strange. I really don't know what is on the content of that. Yeah, that's, I'm kind of lost at that one. But we're going to still use the Thor. Well, I'm not going to include the Thor right now. So what we need is we need an HDMI to SDI converter. That is going to convert our ATEM mini output. So we're going to have out to here. And I'll say that's just HDMI, obviously. And then we would have this to here. That's going to be SDI. What color? Let's make that red. We need to stick with the colors that they used. I don't know why they're using red for the input. I think they're also sending the computer here. I believe so. All right, so let's change. Let's say this is HDMI as well too. And let's use their same color scheme so it makes it easier for them to know what we're doing. So that's HDMI. All of these obviously have Ethernet going to them to live stream. Purple they're using for coax. I don't really know what's the purpose of that. But anyway, what I would do is I would do a run 2, actually 3. Let's copy this here. And now this is going to be SDI to HDMI. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we would run 3 cables from here. Yeah, whatever. And then we're obviously connecting. Well, I don't need it for the projector. Y'all get the idea. Because this has very little. You have the one translation from here and here. So that's maybe 2 frames. So it's not going to be bad. Now, the other thing that you can do with this is you could, if we were still using the Thor, I'll say that's the HDMI to coax here. I would use another one of these and then run that HDMI into that, or you could run a splitter off of here. Either one doesn't really matter, but I mean, if you're already doing this, you might as well just run it off of that. it could be either way. You just put a splitter, a HDMI splitter 2-way, and it goes to both. Just be careful if you do that the resolution is supported by both. It shouldn't be a problem on the Thor, but I would just go with, if you're going to do this, I would rather just go with this instead. And then this will support coax here. And any other TVs that are not in the sanctuary, they can just go over coax and they'll be fine. This is personally how I would do this. Again, I don't know why the HD base T is, what's the purpose of that. So that might change. I'm thinking maybe the projector supports HD base T. If it does, now that makes sense. Because if it's the HD base T and you have an HDMI in and then you have an HDMI out, that can go to here. And all of that will work. I just wouldn't include the interior sanctuary televisions because it's going to be a delay. That's what I would think. So I think that's pretty much the design of what I would do to fix this situation. I need some more specifics on why there are TVs and a projector in the sanctuary. Get some understanding of that, but we'll go from there. But that is going to be my design. This is what I would suggest, and let's go ahead and save this, export it. All right, folks, I messed up. I didn't thoroughly read the email of what was given to me on this setup. So what they want to do is we want to build our own computer with the items we have to make it custom. They sent me a list and a graphic, which we already shown. Everything we have purchased have been from my suggestions. They have 3 monitors, but they want to go to 4. And that 4th is going to be used for a multi-view. All right, so we need to switch this up a little bit to support that. So let's go ahead and get another monitor here. And we'll call this the multi-view. Now, I'm wondering how I'm going to edit this because I did say we're all done and stuff like that. So what we need to do is this HDMI out is not going to be there anymore. That HDMI out for the A10 Mini Pro has to be multi-view. So this is HDMI. And this is going to be here. So that's for the multi-view. So what we need to do is now one of the outputs from here, running OBS or something like that, is going to be feeding and driving all the rest of this. So just like we've done before, you can use OBS as a projection that will send everything out. So the USB will come in, it gets translated in OBS, and we can push it out as a full screen projection to something else. So what we would do is I need to have a HDMI to SDI. Oh, that's where this is. I was wondering why I did that. And now that I think about it, this is something similar to what I suggested to Spring Creek. So to completely bypass this, we could put a Decklink mini monitor 4K in here, right? We'll put that inside the PC, and then this would give us SDI out, which can completely bypass this, and then we won't use up an input from our video card, whichever one that we use. And the good thing is the SDI, that mini monitor, will only work in specific programs like OBS, Pro Presenter, things like that. So that will work. So we'll say PCI card. Internal card. Got to be specific. All right. So that will support that. So how this will work is the exact same thing. OBS would send everything over to mini monitor. Mini monitor would go to the distribution and go everywhere. That should work. And because we don't want to run this through a HD base T. If this was going HD base T directly to the projector, we would have to do something different. But if they want the multi-view, we have to go, the HDMI out has to be used for that. That's similar to what we just did at Spring Creek. This is almost literally what we did earlier today, and we talked about. So their main system, we're going to get a mini monitor 4K as well. That is going to drive the output to their TVs. So, and they're running ProPresenter. So that would always put ProPresenter full screen there. But they also have an HDMI that's looped into the ATEM so that the live stream can also capture what's been captured. So not a big change, but I think that will work well for them. Let me make sure I get this separated properly here so we can see exactly where it's going where. So that's what I think. We, instead of that splitter, we're just going to run that, and that's going to send the signal here. Because again, if we're only doing something like this, you really could just do a 1x4 here and just run one cable all the way to the front of the sanctuary and then just split it right there. Or you could just run that and then split it with HDMI. But again, I don't want to do that because, again, the more devices you add, the more processing that happens that slows down the process. So this is what I think would be good for them. And then we will see where that goes. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Fix the lag between the projectors and the monitors. Yeah, the lag is because of the processing time. I think this would be a good fix for them. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm going to design the system, and then we'll go back and add that import as well. So let me re-export this again and overwrite my original. And that's about it. So now let me design that. Then I'm gonna go to bed. No, I said I was gonna write some chapters. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but anyway, folks, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Is it tomorrow yet? Yeah, we got 15 more minutes before it's the 16th. So anyway, we'll see y'all tomorrow because I still got to edit this. So later.